this episode of Road and Track presents Ride of Your Life, we'll travel the amazing twisty back roads of Northern California with 100 vintage sports car enthusiasts rallying in the California Mille.
We're getting ready. We're so excited.
Also on today's program, we'll ride a few good thermal lifts over the high desert in a sailplane. But first, we'll look at the newest, the coolest, and an affordable collectible Maserati. Founded by the brothers Maserati, this Italian carmaker first came to prominence by winning the 1926 Targa Florio road race in Italy. Their success in that event foretold a legacy of winning races that would continue for 35 years. In his youth, Maserati CEO Stuart Robinson became infatuated with the marque he now runs.
To me, if you ask, it means racing in the 50s and 60s, and Maserati then was ahead of Ferrari. When I was a young man growing up, drivers such as Fangio, Stirling Moss were winning world championships, winning races with Maserati.
Inexplicably, Maserati halted its factory racing program in 1957. But the racing world's loss was the consumer's gain in the late 50s, when Maserati released the 3500 GT and the more powerful 5000 GT, an instant symbol of luxurious performance. Despite many ownership changes during the later part of the last century, the company managed to produce some very interesting automobiles. Once great Italian rivals, Ferrari rescued Maserati by purchasing them in 1997. After an 11-year hiatus, Maserati is back in the U.S. with a new two-seat Spider Cambio Corsa that captures the style and performance of its ancestors. It has a 4.2-liter, 90-degree, 390-horsepower V8 engine, and its gearbox was developed by Magneti Marelli. The optional F1 paddle shifters are an obvious nod to the Ferrari successes in the Formula One program with this style of gearbox. The Spider is a powerful exotic with a fair share of luxurious amenities. There are modern instruments and individual roll bars behind the body-hugging seats. The attractive body is styled by Giugiaro, and there is ample trunk space for weekend getaways. This is a sports car that may entice more than one Porsche or Jaguar customer, and it's priced well below its Ferrari cousins. Ed Bach's Maserati Ghibli was the marque's crowning achievement of the 70s. A subtle blend of speed and sumptuousness, it's the perfect car for the enthusiast that likes to fly below the radar.
I wanted to get something that people would look at and say, wow, what is that? And then you could read their lips. They go, Maserati. And they go, oh. I looked forward about 2.5 years trying to find the right one. And most of the people have repainted them red. And I didn't want a red car because the car is not really a flashy, racy car like in the sense a Ferrari would be, but it's more of a gentleman's car. Every part in the car is a piece of metal that was shaped by a hammer and a man and muscle and sweat. And when they were done, each one of them was a piece of art.
The Ghibli's refinement in the cabin belies the power of its torquey V8 engine.
It's the kind of car that anybody can just get in and drive. You step on the gas and it's got a lot of torque and makes a tremendous sound too. They made about 1,000 of these cars, and there's probably 800 left in the world. Probably 500 of them are in driving good condition. So for a car nut or a car collector, it's a real privilege to have something so special.
Doug Magnan's Indy is only one of 3 Maseratis he owns. A big brother to the Ghibli, the Indy is similarly styled, yet more affordable. A 2+2 that provides just as much punch, but with room for 2 in the rear.
I've always had an interest in Italian cars. I'm of Italian descent, and Italian cars have always been a passion and a desire for me to have ever since I was young. And Maseratis I found had such a great history, a uniqueness, and are a little more affordable than, say, Ferraris or Lamborghinis. I'm fortunate on this car that it has half power steering. It's a front-engine V8 car. It's a 5-liter displacement. It is a large car, and therefore it has some weight to it. The power steering does definitely give a lot more swiftness and agility to the car without being so overpowered like the American style of that era. This at the time was the fastest 4-passenger car in the world. These cars were bred from race cars, and that spirit and life of that car has been carried over into the car.